Welcome to Capital 9 Sports Weekly. I'm Kevin Jones alongside Malcolm Johnson. Week 1 is in the books for the Redskins preseason. They beat the Tennessee Titans 22-21. I think the biggest thing, Malcolm, I'm taking away from this, Kirk Cousins goes 6 for 7, leads the offense down the field, looks very much like a starting quarterback in the NFL. In fact, Mark Schlereth of ESPN, former Redskin, said he could start for 10 different teams. I don't know if I agree with that, but Kirk Cousins is the real deal.
Definitely, without question. I mean, I was talking to one of our producers, and he said, I would much rather have this guy than our starting quarterback. He's a Miami Dolphins fan. He looked good in the pocket. He looked good going throughout his reads. That one mishap that he had, that would have been a completion had the receiver caught the ball. So he went 6 for 7. He looked good. And what I like most about Cousins' performance is the fact that he threw to 5 different receivers in that game. That's showing his ability to not only go through his reads, but get different guys involved. And that's needed when you have this many playmakers on a talented team.
And the big debate, it probably won't happen this year, but the Redskins are going to have to trade Kirk Cousins one day. And they're going to, it looks like they're going to be able to get a first-round pick out of this. But my thing is, what's more valuable? A first-round pick like LaRon Landry or some random defensive lineman, or having a backup quarterback that can fill in for Robert Griffin, that can come in without a beat. They are going to eventually trade him, but I think it may hurt them. Look at the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. They missed the playoffs with Charlie Batch, with Byron Leftwich. They don't have a backup quarterback, so he brings wins to this team, in my view.
I hate saying anything bad about Charlie Batch because he was able to be the guy for so long, as in the backup guy. But he made the backup position look good for a long time in the league. Kirk Cousins is obviously going to be more valuable than anyone else that they could go find because you know what you're going to get from him in your backup. Kyle Shanahan just last week came out and said our offense would be just as fluid if this guy were the starter of our offense.
I don't know if I'll go that far. That's a little crazy, but
the running option is not there and it's not going to be as strong, but you know you're going to have a guy who's going to be able to be solid at the quarterback position and run the offense the way that they want it ran.
Let's stick with quarterbacks because Redskins fans, they love backup quarterbacks.
Yep. We
have Rex Grossman and Pat White, a battle that unfolded in there in the second half. People love to make fun of Rex Grossman. He didn't look good. And Pat White comes in there from West Virginia, a lefty, a scrambler. He's exciting. He made plays. He looked good. And I'm here to squash that and say Rex Grossman will be on this team. And I don't care if he goes out and has 4 bad games. This is a guy, you have 2 quarterbacks in front of you that are projects, that are young players. You don't need another third young player. You need a veteran there to have expertise, to have guidance. He's been in a Super Bowl. He's been in this system for a while. Your third quarterback is not going to take a lot of snaps probably at all, but you want a veteran there.
It's funny that this is the biggest controversy on the team. Who's going to be the third-string quarterback? Who's to say we'll even sign a third-string quarterback? But if you sign one, it's got to be Rex. He's not that sexy, but he gets the job done. And like you said, he's comfortable back there, and he's done it for a long time. He's a veteran with 10-plus years in the league. Pat White, did he look good and glamorize that fourth-quarter comeback? He did, but he hasn't played in the last 3 seasons. And the last time he played was against the Steelers, who they'll play next week. He's got an opportunity to start ahead of Grossman because of the fact that he played so well, and Grossman looked dismal, but I don't think he'll be taking Rex's job.
Quickly, a couple other things I liked from the preseason game 1. Roy Halou looks like he's shifty, and he's going to be the third down running back. I don't see much competition there between Royster, Thompson, Jameson. I think Halou's solidified himself. Fred Davis looks athletic, looks like he's going to be a problem if he can stay healthy all year. And then the offensive line, to me, Tom Compton filled in for Trent Williams at left tackle. Looked like he can hold his own at least. Redskins kept 8 offensive linemen last year. That's not a lot. So they gamble. They keep a couple on the practice squad. Compton looks like he's going to be a reserve and a very good one at that.
And what do you think about Fred Davis's penalty, drawing a 15-yard penalty? It's his first time playing football since week 7 of last year. He has some celebration where he's acting like he's got a seizure going. I don't know what that was about. Drew a 15-yard penalty for it. It's his first game since
If you talk to Fred Davis and you interview him, this is just who he is. He cannot contain his personality. It's going to be out there. He's going to make a few penalties. He's going to make a couple boneheaded mistakes, but you cannot deny his talent and how athletic he looks in this offense. I'll take I'm glad that happened in the preseason. Good thing you brought up with penalties. Redskins commit 11. On Thursday night against the Titans. They had 9 games last year where they had at least 7 penalties. That's going to be something that has to be limited. Couple other pieces that didn't look good. Bakari Rambo.
Didn't look too good. He did not look
Rookie
too good.
safety from Georgia.
He was burnt twice. He was burnt twice, but I will say this. He was burnt by Chris Johnson. that's okay. Chris Johnson makes Pro Bowlers look bad. He's going to make a 6th-rounder look bad. But getting beat by Sean Green, taking a bad angle there when Sean Green had a 19-yard touchdown run, that shouldn't happen. But I think he'll adjust. It's his very first game in the NFL. It's going to take time to adjust to the speed.
I mean, it better, because if he's playing this way, Reed Doughty is going to be starting over him because he's a sure tackler. He may get beat in pass coverage, but if we see a couple more bad games from Rambo, this has been the guy in training camp everyone has been wowing about, including me, all the beat reporters. So.
And Omar, who probably will be taking my seat or your seat the next time we do one of these episodes, he's not going to like the sound of that. I don't know a guy who dislikes Reed Doughty any more than our friend and coworker Omar Muhammad. They're all new guys back there. We've got progress to make, but they look good in their very first outing.
Redskins play the Steelers next Monday night. It'll be at FedEx Field. Kirk Cousins, again, will be starting. Robert Griffin III is going to get increased reps in the 11-on-11s this week. I'll be in Richmond Monday and Tuesday. For Malcolm Johnson, I'm Kevin Jones. Thanks for listening and watching.